Cheers.
How many pictures are on Yelp? Pull up all these pictures and you're like, oh, that's the dessert you're eating? All right, Michelle. That's the candle? Okay, that's the same candle. I know where you're at.
45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour. Wait, can you run that long? No offense.
That's like I'm married, dog. You know, first date, bro.
Was that what you did?
Yeah, my first date with him.
And look at
I think a guy's more comfortable being alone than a girl, but I mean, that's a whole
you
nother
think so?
subject.
First and foremost, thank you for listening to the Men Don't Know podcast. I'm the man of many friends, your host and creator, Chris Boone. And here on the podcast, we talk with a bunch of guys. We ask a bunch of women questions over wine and cocktails. Whether you listen to it on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or you downloaded that Men Don't Know podcast app, as well as on SoundCloud and Pandora, I cannot thank y'all enough. Merch store is open as always, but hit me up on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1. Shoot me an email, Chris at MenDon'tKnow.com, or hop on the MenDon'tKnow.com website and shoot me a message. Fellas, my guys, how we living? What up, man? Not much. Question of the day. Let me preface this correctly. Do you think men don't get a fair shot at a woman because of the past men that have fucked up in their past relationships? So, i.e., we're going to hold you guys' answers till after, but i.e., the question states, meaning, do you think women bring their past experiences into their new relationships regardless of how much they've healed, and they, I guess, in one shape or form or another, put that on the new guy they're dating at some shape or form in any instance? And so I figured, who better to first call than my sister so she can give us some real life. I don't want to say real life experience, but she hangs out with a whole bunch of women that tell her a whole bunch of drama all the time. And so I'm like, let's call her. All right, let me see where she's at. There we go. This shit right here.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm here with Coy and JR. Fellas, say what's up.
What up?
What's
going
up?
on?
Hello.
I need a question of the day, and it goes, do you think men don't get a fair shot at a woman because of the past men that have fucked up in their relationships?
I do.
Okay, let me ask you this. Why? Why when, I guess, I feel like all of us men have heard a woman say, I've healed. I'm done with that, yada, yada, yada. But then,
Right.
So why?
I think because sometimes people, I'll say people or women, would love to feel as though they heal until they're put into the situation.
Yeah.
And then something triggers. Because it's crazy. I was just telling, Randall, I was like, oh, I have to tell you something. I had a crazy dream. And then he goes, wait, did I do anything bad in your dream? Did I cheat on you in a dream? And I was like, no. And he even said, he's like, in the past, I would, get silenced for doing something in my ex's dreams. And I'm like, oh my God, no. And yeah, no. I mean, I think
he even had
in reality, yeah, he did. And I just think people think that they've healed from certain situations until they're in the current one. But I do think that oftentimes it can lead to some more, I would say, more severe situation, as just being upset or not even breaking up, but just having an attitude, being mean, rude, or disrespectful only because they're like, well, this has always happened to me. What's going to change? I know I'm healed, but how do I know you're not going to do it to me? And it's like, but if you're healed, then we shouldn't even really be having this conversation. Or we can have the conversation, you know?
If you are healed, how are we here having this conversation?
Exactly.
Yeah. because I mean, have I been through some stuff? Yes. Have I healed? Yes. So I'm not going to bring
Wait. Are
the
you still
past into the
triggered, though?
future. No.
You're not triggered. All right.
No,
Fair
because mainly for me, it has to do with video games. And yeah,
Okay.
yeah, mine's video
Man,
games.
never gonna play video games. Never get to play.
No, but the thing is that
sports.
oh yeah, trust me. When I heard that, I was like, "Are you kidding me?" But then, we don't ever not do anything because he has to play a video game or because of this. So I don't care that
wild, though. That is wild.
Yeah.
Not doing something because of a video game.
The new one's afraid to play chess on his app thing. He's like, can't play that.
Yeah. Yeah, mine is definitely the video games, and he enjoys like some, computer, mainly it's like these computer video games. So it doesn't bother me. It doesn't, he doesn't not do things because he has to play them. So yeah.
He doesn't schedule life around the video game.
Correct. No, he doesn't do that.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this real quick.
Uh-huh.
What would you tell a woman that does get triggered? What do you tell the women that are bringing up saying, "Oh, well, in my past relationship, these triggered me"?
Well, I mean, I would really tell them, it's okay to have a trigger and it's okay to have a conversation about it, but don't put the blame on like your significant other who didn't even do whatever you're triggered about.
Yeah.
You can't do that. It's okay to be like, oh my goodness, my ex used to do X, Y, and Z. Because like me and my significant other, we have like those conversations, but it's like it's a learning moment. Because a lot of times if we're watching TV and he's like, oh my God, this used to happen to me. And I would say the same thing, but it's a learning moment and it's not a big deal. But when you said that you've healed, then you've healed, and we just can't be, this goes for all of us. We can't bring the past into the future. It just, it's not going to work. So you're either going to deal with it now.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. You have to deal, and a lot of times you can, and I always say, sometimes it's just better to take a moment. And it's okay. I'm sure a person wouldn't be like, hey, what's going on? If she's like, oh, just reminded me of someone I don't want to be reminded of. Hold on a second. You guys would have no problem being like, oh, okay, I'm going to give you the time. And then she comes back and was just like, ooh. Sometimes you just got to refocus, and it's okay to refocus, but don't sit there and beat a dead horse when it's not necessary. Like, it's just not. You just wasted time that you can never get back over something the person never did, but someone else
wasted time on
that
arguing over something. Yeah. See, I don't know. I just always wonder because of the fact that I feel like, and I could be wrong. Let me fix my mic. I could be wrong. I feel like the fact that I think in some instances, men walk into a relationship not bringing the baggage of what their ex did to them.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Honestly, I don't know men who have brought their baggage in to a new relationship. I don't. Yeah. That is true. I really don't. And some of them have had like some crazy, like outlandish baggage, but you are right. I don't feel as though men do. However, I do feel as though men do it a little differently.
Okay.
Like things, like let's just say, women, of course, when we feel as though we found the one, we want to hurry up, get married. If it's in the cards to have kids, you discuss that you want to have kids, or you discuss you want to travel, whatever it is, we want to do it now. And I do feel as though men will be like, well, I did it in the past, so now I want to enjoy and take my sweet ass time in this future. And that's where I think it goes. Yeah. Because that's what I'm seeing now, where I'm like, okay, well, you're dragging ass, and we're not. Our age is not worth dragging. You know, where in younger, you're jumping in, all of you first. Now it's like, oh well, because now I get, oh well, you know, like, don't you want the big wedding and then to plan it? In my head, I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
No,
I never thought about that. That's a good question.
Yeah.
Does everybody still want that big wedding?
If you've been married before, I don't think you do want a big wedding.
Okay.
No.
If you ran it
But
back,
even being, I feel like even being older, I don't really want the big wedding because, I mean, I think it's because I've been in so many. I honestly feel like because I've been in so many, I want the marriage, I want the reception. And the reception doesn't have to be on the same day. The reception could be a barbecue. It doesn't need to be all pomp and circumstances. And I think that's what I want versus the younger me. And the me now is like, okay, I only want to spend $1,000.
God damn.
Nah,
you want you him and the Pope?
I'm not giving you a choice. You're gonna have a big wedding.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying
but
big
do you
wedding,
see?
Wedding.
You see, see, that's what I've gotten. Like, this reminds me of another. He's like, well, no, you deserve this, you deserve that. In my head, I'm like, when? Because now everything is way more expensive. To move, it's expensive. To do this is expensive. So unless I have a money tree or someone has some amazing property in which either we could fly to or we could, you know, build on, my patience is very little.
Coy been saving for your wedding for a minute. Coy said he had a gift for you. Coy said he had a little envelope. You know, a little red envelope.
We're gonna get all of Chris's contacts.
Oh wow!
To be in this. We're gonna get Coy to budget it and then
put it on with daps, and that's what's up. That's what's up.
You're right. You're right. JR is right. With Coy's budget and your contacts. I mean,
and put it on with good lookings. Jesus Christ. That's what we do. That's what you see.
So when's the barbecue?
Yeah, but you know, it's different, and that's where I feel like the past comes into play.
Yeah,
it's when you're in the future and you're like, oh yeah, but you know, let's take our time. Let's do this. Let's do that. I'm like, well, no. Now that I'm older, it's like, no, I don't want to wait. See, so
maybe because he's seen how that, you know, how that's not your story, but he's seen the marriage story, and you know, and maybe he's just like cautious about just rushing into that type of situation again.
Well, I mean, for him, when I had asked, it's not necessarily about the caution. It's like he's been in maybe one or two weddings. You see, his friends are just now starting to get married.
Okay.
Mine have already gotten married. Some are on marriage number 2. Right. And I've been in a lot of weddings. So for me, I mean, would I like it? I'm not going to say no, but I also don't want to wait.
Yep. Nice.
So, but we'll see. And that's where I feel like that's where the difference is.
He's going to be like, if you let me play video games, we'll get married tomorrow.
Wow. Damn. And I got
no, because he plays video games now, and it's still not that.
You get married on the Oculus. The virtual priest.
Damn.
So stupid.
Hey, that's compromise right there.
Where'd you go?
All right, Nina, we gonna let you go. I appreciate you.
All right.
Later, Nina.
Okay.
All right.
Bye, you guys.
Bye. Damn. All right. He said married on the Oculus.
You may kiss the bride. You guys are just looking for each other.
Whoa, where's this confetti coming from?
Oh, my God.
Where's this rice coming from? It's like no cleanup after. I think we just invented a business, guy.
Hey, there we go.
Check with
instead of going to the Vegas chapel.
Yeah.
Come in here.
Like silent discos.
Reception's a laser tag thing. No cleanup.
All right, let me ask you. JR, your wife has plenty of female friends and cousins and everybody. Do you think, because I guess, yeah, she has cousins that dating and you know, relationships, stuff like that. You think they bring in past to their present? Have you seen it though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they do.
Do you think everybody? Now, let me ask you this: do you think every woman does? I guess not every woman, but to a certain extent, a higher percentage of women do it.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: why do you think they do?
If you rode a bike and fell a dozen times and skinned your knee a dozen times, you're gonna be wary of getting on that bike again. And at the slightest hint of a rock,
yeah, no. I mean, that's an easier way to put it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
You know, women. I think women do it more than men because women have more experience dating than men do because they have a lot more options to date.
Yeah,
than
100%.
men do.
100%.
So they run into
We
all
only
kinds-
choose
like,
who we get married to.
Just imagine the amount of people women run into like that are just douches.
Yeah.
Or just like just jerks or
Isn't that crazy though?
Or
Like you
cheat.
said, imagine the amount of men women run into.
yeah. So then imagine that, and then imagine them getting into a relationship and bringing all of those experiences with her. Yeah, she's gonna bring those. She's gonna, have red flags in her head that she's experienced from previous relationships.
It don't even matter nowadays. I heard guys be at the bar with the wedding ring on. So what's up, ma?
It costs like $1
damn.
online. The silicone ones?
Oh,
The black silicone ones?
I'm not talking. God, Coy, please don't tell me.
What does
you
the
think
black silicone do that the real expensive one doesn't do?
we're not a damn thing.
Black silicone.
No.
Oh, I just came from the gym. So why do you have it on period?
Coy, what do you
I'm
think?
covering up a tattoo on my.
I think you mentioned the word heal,
Yeah,
like how much they have healed
yeah.
is going to depend on how much benefit of the doubt they give the next guy.
Gotcha.
Because, like, no matter what, let's say a girl gets cheated on, she meets the next guy, no matter what, he's going to get it. It's already in her head, like JR said, that her guard's going to be up, it's going to be cautious, right? Mm-hmm. He doesn't deserve that. Maybe he's a good guy, but at the same time, it is going to be there. Now, let's say she gets suspicious of something and it messes up a good thing, and he's just like, you know what, I'm out. So the next guy she meets, she heals a little bit more. She says, I fucked up that last one. Maybe she's not going to be as critical or suspicious of this guy. So I think it kind of, the meter moves as you go along. For guys, Nina said guys feel that way too. Yeah, but maybe get over it a little bit sooner than
faster. Yeah. You think guys have more time to heal than women?
Yeah.
more time.
God,
Maybe more ways to heal. Like maybe I don't want to downplay a girl exercising, but like you said, guys, they get cheated on, they go straight to the gym. That's something that they
straight to the gym.
straight to the gym. They can hang with their boys.
Little TRT, little
think-
D-ball. Get a little amped up. Get a little right.
Yeah.
Girls don't have their homegirls as
heal through the
available as
pump.
guys.
Yeah.
As guys, and I don't want to just use cheating as the prime example. Let's say,
it could be anything.
Yeah, like a girl could date
grow
a guy.
apart.
A girl
Yeah.
could date a guy with kids, and it went bad because of that.
Yeah,
And then
100%.
guy number 2 has a kid. It's the same category.
Or guy number 2 wants a kid and she doesn't want kids.
I gotta
now.
write these down. Do you think do you think a guy will date a girl would date a guy with kids more often than a guy would date a woman with kids?
When they don't have kids in their own.
Yeah, like do you think a girl will
I think a girl date with a guy with kids more often than a guy would.
date
When they don't have a kid on their own.
Yeah, when they don't have a kid on their own, yeah. I think it also depends on the baby moms too. Like,
I mean, hey, 9 times out of 10, I always hear from certain situations, and my guys, they're all like, I would never wish my baby moms on any man in the world. And I'm like, damn. Like, just like, damn.
That's hard.
I would never, like, I was like, damn, God, never? Like, y'all don't have even, I think situations like that, they're so, like, the communication, like, I feel like in any situation of when kids are involved, I was like, look, take yourselves out of this. As long as the kid is good, that's all that fucking matters, you know? But, you know, like I said, I don't have any kids. I can't speak to it.
It's tough, man.
Dicey.
Like,
hell yeah.
like whenever kids are involved, you don't want to. I don't know. You got to kind of set a good example, man.
Yeah.
But like
even if you guys hate each other, just like in front of the kids, just make it seem like you guys are just best friends.
Even we've all had friends that have dated a girl with kids, and they're dealing with baby daddy, and they're telling us about like this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah,
and you have to deal with it, and
I can't even. Yeah, I've seen. Why do we always have those guys that say that too?
What?
Like we have a bunch of friends like that. This guy's a fucking idiot. I'm like, how and I was like, you want to give the guy the benefit of the doubt too. Like, dog, is he really? He's like, dog, he's a fucking nutcase. Like,
is he? And then you talk to him
like,
Dad, this guy's cool.
nah, you talk to him. It's like, damn, how did he get here? Like,
damn.
Like I'm gonna wait 20 minutes after he leaves. You know?
Wait, as in we talk to him, as in we're not the one trying to fucking.
Oh man! All right, let me hit Jay. See if he's free. I don't want to talk to him about it. Where he at? Here we go. This guy. I feel like. What do I feel like?
It's impossible not to bring your past something.
I think to everybody,
the very next person.
Yeah.
It's gonna be at least in the back of your head.
Guys might have minimal baggage, but we do have baggage that we bring.
100%.
It may carry on.
Oh, Jay, what up, man? How you living?
Good. What's good?
Not much, man. Here with Coy and JR. Fellas, say what's up to Jay.
What up?
What's up?
Oh, Jay.
All right. Quick question for you, my guy. Let me ask you this. Do you think men don't get a fair shot at women because women bring their past relationships into their new one?
Do they not get a fair shot to their past relationships?
Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like people say in certain situations, a guy brought this up and definitely wanted me to ask this and wanted me to pull it to both men and women. But do you think that men don't get a fair shot because women bring their past traumas from past relationships into their new relationship?
Oh, yeah, I think so. A lot of times.
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna say every single one, but yeah.
Why?
Man, I think it's just maybe their trauma from it. They just like you said, they can't let it go, so they always gonna think the worst.
Have you ever seen a woman mess up a good thing?
What's that?
Have you ever seen like a homegirl mess up a good relationship?
You know what? I can't like distinct one, but I'm sure.
Damn, I'm sure. I mean,
it's like, yeah, I'm sure.
I'm sure. I mean, let me ask you this: if you had a best friend asking you, "Hey, I keep bringing my past traumas, keep fucking up the relationship I have with this guy, and he's a really good guy," what would you tell me? What would you give her advice to do, coming from a guy's perspective?
Man, I say you gotta clean that slate. You're kind of bringing in that dirty feeling from your past relationship, and he's already paying for it.
Yeah,
you know, you're making him prove himself that he's not like this guy when you're not even giving him the chance. When you're already thinking the worst. So you're like, if you're looking for all these little signs, I feel like you're going to find all these little signs and exaggerate them in your own head.
Damn.
You think if a guy? Sorry.
No.
Do you think if a guy knows that's being happening to him? Do you think he has a right to speak up and say something to her, or is it more like, you know what, you figure that out and I'm out? You know what I mean?
Oh, you figure that out and I'm out.
Yeah, I choose the second.
Because it's not up to you to, you know.
Yeah, no, you got.
Yeah,
it's
your
unfair.
baggage is your
know.
baggage. I can't unpack it for you and fold the line and put it back in. Like you got to do all that.
Yeah, I gotta,
Do you think it's up to the homegirl or her family to tell her, like, hey, come on, like you're being unfair about this, or?
Man, that's for the therapist to say, you know?
The therapist. Damn.
More than likely, somebody's already told her, you know?
Yeah, but she's still got to go through it.
Because you got to think, if she's asking another girl that this other friend has that same issue, she's just going to be like, oh, you're right. You know, forget him.
You think homegirls give bad advice sometimes?
Oh, yeah. I feel like everybody can give bad advice for sure.
Damn.
You know, especially if you have a biased opinion against it. You know, if you've already gone through it, you're already thinking the worst of it.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Happened to me. Damn. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Like,
you know what I'm saying? So.
But let me ask you this: Who do you think would give bad advice? The man, like the homegirls, or your boys give bad advice to the guys? Like, do you think the guys are more or less saying, "Hey, dad, like you guys, you know"? Do you think guys will always push you for staying in the relationship versus the woman?
I think guys rarely give.
I think both guys both parties giving bad advice.
Damn.
Yeah, I agree. I think both parties give bad advice, but I mean, I personally just think that women are giving worse advice, you know? But
yeah, because women are giving advice coming from just a woman's perspective. They're not really looking at both sides of it, you know?
Because I feel like, for me, I just feel like, especially for myself too, I feel like guys, we let stuff go a lot easier and we don't hold on to stuff as much. Yeah. Not saying every guy or every girl, but I feel like I know a lot more girls are just holding on to like stuff that happened back when, or you know, they did this, or it's like, man, you got to let that stuff go and move on. Especially on the new guy, you can't bring, like you said, you can't bring all that extra baggage to this new relationship. Now he's got to rifle through this and deal with just the normal relationship stuff. Man, that's too much work.
Don't ask the party homie either. Hey,
you don't ask the party.
I just need somebody to split the bottle tonight. Another person to split the table tonight.
Yeah, you don't ask the party homie. You ask the guy that's in a relationship that you are looking to. Go. Like, damn, I would I would love to get a relationship like yours. Yeah, that's the homie you have to ask, because he's the only one that's going to give you advice.
Extra spot at the table tonight. $600.
You can't ask the party homie. The party homie is only looking for, hey, bro, fuck this.
So if you're always going to be on the defense, man, that's all you're going to be playing. That's all you're just going to find the negative everywhere.
Yeah, that's true too.
So
I didn't think about that. All right. Sheesh. All right, man. I appreciate that. I'll holler at you in a second.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn.
Like, okay, feel free to slap me on the back of the head or something if this doesn't make sense, because, like,
when you put your hand out. Go ahead.
Okay. When you have this vacation booked, right? You go into like this paradise, this island. You're all ready to go. Yeah. Like.
Hey, shut the fuck up.
Do you like to bring these old clothes that you've worn for the past like 5 or 6 years? Or do you like to pack? Do you like to go shopping, get yourself fresh and ready to go?
We weren't matching something,
right?
Yeah.
So like, obviously, you're not gonna pack a bag full of old shit, right? That's how you got to treat your relationships.
Yeah. Tell a girl that, she'll slap you.
Yeah, she would, but
yeah, absolutely not. Nah, I'm trying to match. Yeah, 100%. Like, but it's just, I think in those situations, it's always harder than none not to.
It's hard to forget stuff that's happened to you. I mean, if
they always say forgive and never forget.
If you're not getting advice, or you're not getting input from other people, and you're just holding it in, you're always gonna. Yeah. It's always gonna happen. Like, you gotta learn for yourself, kind of something.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You think the best advice is from couples you would like to, like, damn, I want.
Best advice is from people that have nothing to gain from it. There's no ulterior motive. Like, this person, I always ask this person, and this person always gives it to me straight, and they have no other incentive in giving me.
And they don't care about my feelings.
Which is why people hire therapists, because they're a third party that has no freaking interest in your life. There's no like investment in your life to where like.
Do therapists get together with other therapists and go, hey, you should have seen the advice I gave this. I was just ready to leave. She paid me already, you know? You know what I mean? That's the problem, though. Too much disconnect. Too much no involvement.
Yeah.
Too much zero attachment.
Man.
That's why it's hard. Like if girls go to their homegirls to get advice, like you gotta like be wary of the homegirl that's telling you something just because
Who
they
gave
want
you
you
that
to.
advice? Yeah.
Yeah, because is their homegirl single? She might want you to stay single. She might give you some advice that'll
Misery
fuck you
loves
up.
company.
Misery loves company. Is the homegirl in a relationship? She might give you some advice to make you go back to that man because you want you to stay in a relationship so she can have somebody to kick it with.
Yeah,
like it's
and
hard.
couples.
Like,
That's why you have to know the personnel, the person giving you advice.
KYP.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's tough, man.
I don't want to try her, but let me try it real quick and see what happens.
You think a lot of people now with online, they can find more articles and stuff on what to do in situations?
Yeah, 100%. I know a lot of people that listen to
There's groups.
Or like Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not saying
There's Facebook groups. There's
Yeah,
all kinds.
I think there's a lot of things that you can do that you like. People listen to online therapists and different things like that. Let me hang that.
People
up.
listen to Men Don't Know podcasts, you know, and they
That
get
too.
all kinds
Hey,
of
bro. Some people
good
use this
tidbits.
as
I'm surprised I haven't called you and told you, what the fuck, bro?
Hey, you said, Chris, you said.
Where are you at right now? I'm on my way. We're going to settle this in the studio.
If you realize I'm asking for other people's advice and not
Chris, you said Costco flowers, and she don't.
The flowers got her allergic, gave her a big reaction.
you need to know what type of flowers to bring her. And then let me call Jess, see if she's free real quick. Let me turn this up and turn her down real quick so that way she don't go fucking crazy. Hey, first of all, you're on the podcast. I had a quick question to ask you. That's why I had to preface it. JR and Koy are here.
What's up?
Let me ask you this real quick. And you are a good person to ask only because I feel like a lot of people use you as their therapist.
What is that?
I know. Yeah, I feel like that's another job title that you should hold, but that's neither here nor there. Do you think men don't get a fair shot at a woman because of the past men that fucked up in their past relationships?
No, I don't think that's true.
Really? Okay. Okay.
I don't think that they don't get a fair shot. I just feel like they don't get as many chances as they would have typically if the woman wouldn't have already gone through whatever she went through.
So instead of 3 strikes, they get 2 strikes or 1 strike.
Exactly.
Okay, but what if she says, "Oh, I've seen this situation play out," even though it's not the same situation because it's a different guy?
Well, I mean, it's the same thing as red flags. Like, how many times do you have to go through the same thing before you realize certain things are the same?
Yeah, but could she just be paranoid?
Maybe, but I mean, how often does that really happen?
Have you ever had to tell your girl to stop tripping?
No.
You've never had to tell not one home.
Women, no, because unfortunately women have women's intuition. And most of the time, if you feel like something's not right, it's probably not right.
Do you think some women haven't healed from their past trauma and that's why they're bringing it into their new relationship?
I think everybody hasn't healed from their past trauma in a certain aspect.
That's bad. That's a bar. Okay. Okay. I like that. Hey.
Everybody has
how
scars.
much healing?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, I just feel like it's a learning situation. You can say, if you have an ex that cheated on you and the signs were they were always coming home from work late or always having boys' night out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then your new situation, they start doing the same thing. Like it's human nature to think the same thing, but most of the time it turns out to be that same thing. I mean, how much of a blind eye can you turn?
But what if it's not? What if the second guy's just not getting a fair shake and he just out late for work, but she thinks, you know what, I've seen this before.
then that's your fault because you should have communicated better.
You think people don't communicate right?
I think a lot of people don't communicate right.
Do you think people get into relationships way too far in and not have evaluated and have an understanding and realize the level and different attributes of both parties involved, that they get into a relationship too far in and they're like, fuck it?
No, I just think that we're not taught correctly how to communicate. And I think it kind of just continues being like one of those things that you learn from your parents from when you're a kid, and those things never get taught to you correctly. So you just continue to repeat the same situation. My parents have been married for 30 something years. And when my mom, I remember being younger, when she would feel some type of way about my dad doing X, Y, or Z, instead of addressing it right when it would happen, it would be something she wouldn't say anything about. And then once it would get to the boiling point, then she'd flip out, and they'd get in a fight. And
it's 10 times worse than when
it
would have
10
been if she
times
said
worse.
something.
Exactly, as opposed to just saying, hey, I don't like this, or this is what I'm thinking. I feel like you really have to be comfortable with the person that you're with in order to just really put yourself out there, whether or not you sound crazy or not. I have no problem at this point in life saying that to my other half. Like, hey, just so you know, I know this sounds crazy, but this is how I feel. And I feel like you just...
hell no.
You know what I mean? But it's like, nobody's a mind reader. You can't... and men and women think totally different. So just because...
That part too.
Oh, well, he should know what I'm mad about. Like, bitch, what? No. He barely knows what he did yesterday. How's he going to know why he's not a mind reader? Like, no.
That's the sign of a really healthy relationship, though, when both people can actually say what's on their mind at the time.
Tell me what's... Yeah.
Because, like, it festers, you know? I've been there before where I've held stuff back for, you know, days or weeks, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm talking about something that happened a month ago, and it just blows up into something else. It's like, you know,
I remember that night when the cops came.
Yeah, man, and then I had to like barricade in the house with my.
What a must.
Yeah, I just. But see, like men as well, like there might be something that bothers you. Okay, let's say for instance, let's say JR. I know Koi's not, but JR, are you in a relationship?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just say today you're feeling some type of way. You go home, you try to sleep with your significant other, and for whatever reason, she doesn't want to. Now, you might think something in your head because you're having a bad day, and now you're sitting here like, oh, dang, she didn't want to sleep with me. Well, that's about what is that about? She didn't want to sleep with me. Is she mad about X, Y, and Z, or is it because I gained weight, or like, is she feeling someone else? Like, you go into a total spiral effect, which is somewhat human nature. But instead of just saying, hey, what's wrong? And you find out, I don't know, something super random. Maybe your other half has a UTI. Maybe she had a bad night's sleep. Like, maybe she has cramps today. It could be so many things that could be solved by simple communication, but people don't like to put themselves out there because they feel like the rejection is going to be too much, or they're going to look stupid. And it's just like, everyone looks stupid all the time anyways, in my opinion. You might as well just you're feeling or thinking and save yourself the hassle.
So let me ask you, if I wanted to know what was up with her and she's not, you know, wanting to tell me at the time, what do I do as her husband to get that information so that I can, not like, I don't want to like say I can fix it, but you know, so that I can actually help or see if there's anything I can do to get her out of that funk.
Because of the fact that everyone grows at different levels, I feel like the best thing you can do is just say, hey, babe, like this situation occurred the other day, and this is kind of where my mind went, even if it wasn't correct or if I'm super off left field. I just want you to know how I felt. And if you don't want to talk about it right now for whatever reason, that's okay. But in the case that you might want to talk about it eventually, just know that you can tell me whatever, and I'm not going to take offense to it. And it might not have anything to do with me, but that's okay as well.
Bars. God
Get out.
damn,
Close the door. Get out and close the door. I don't want
Just give me a pen, damn it.
No, absolutely not. No, you got to remember.
No, that's
that.
good.
Yeah, no, I didn't think about that. All right.
I didn't think about that because a lot of times I try to like prod into like what's wrong. Like, tell me.
Right.
You can talk to me. Just tell me.
Right.
Like, use your words.
Instead of your stupid. What the fuck is wrong with you?
But it's like it's the same thing. Like I tell people though too, because they're just like, oh well, that other person doesn't want to communicate or this or that, and I try to tell them it would be the same. Try to think of it as the same as if your parents, if you were younger and your parents were like, well, what's wrong? Well, what's wrong? Well, why don't you want to talk about it? Blah, blah, blah. Like, how do you react to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to, and I say parents because I feel like for men, that's like the most common figure that's like an authority for you. Like, most men they don't look at a woman as like their authority figure, obviously. So, for a woman, like, you feel like a man is more dominant. So, like, how would you feel with that? See what I'm saying? Like, it just has to be a safe place, like, when you're ready to talk about it. Because every man out there knows they're not going to force a woman into doing something she does not want to do. It doesn't matter what you say or do.
Right.
It was a French tip.
All right. We appreciate you. I'm going to let you go. Sound like you in the chair. So, I'll let
yes,
you.
I am. Right. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get that down.
Yeah. Get that down. If not, don't worry. Listen back.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
What's wrong with you?
I got it.
Damn. Talk about men don't listen, huh? Anyways, first phone, someone thank everybody for listening. Whether you listen to it on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Pandora, you downloaded that Men Don't Know podcast app. I can't thank y'all enough. Merch store is open as always. Hit me up on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1. Shoot me an email, Chris at mendontknow.com, or hop on the mendontknow.com website and shoot me a message, guys. We are out.
How many pictures are on Yelp? Pull up all these pictures and you're like, oh, that's the dessert you're eating? All right, Michelle. That's the candle? Okay, that's the same candle. I know where you're at.
45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour. Wait, can you run that long? No offense.
That's how I got married. Now you know, first date, bro.
Was that what you did?
Yeah, my first date with him.
And look at
I think a guy's more comfortable being alone than a girl, but I mean, that's a whole
Really?
nother
You think so?
subject.